Hi everybody, my name is Jen Heatbeats and I'm so excited to bring you this new podcast called Heartbeats of Adapted PE. I'll be your host. I'm a full-time adapted PE teacher in Minnesota, and I would love to share just a little bit about what we've got going on here at our new podcast, Heartbeats of Adapted PE. Our vision for this podcast is that we would be able to come together to connect and inspire and amplify adapted PE teacher voices along with those who support all students. So I'm going to bring you high quality guests that are going to help us become better teachers and just help us support students of all abilities. The heart behind this podcast is that we want to celebrate that heart or the storytelling behind what we do. And I know from teaching through the pandemic that sharing stories is power and that we feel more connected when we do things together. And oftentimes adapted PE teachers feel left behind or on an island or feel guilty for taking professional development days. And so this podcast is aimed at not only celebrating the heart and storytellers telling behind what we do, but also the beat, just the daily rhythms of our jobs and working with students of all abilities. And so with that in mind, I want to share a few ideas of what I have for this podcast that's coming down the pike. Number one, I'm going to bring you guests who know federal law, who'll be able to help us with law interpretation and do some busting of myths. During one of our podcasts coming up, we're going to have a podcast about adapted PE equipment. How do we set up our students for success with all abilities using different types of equipment? I'm going to have parents coming on to share about how adapted PE has shaped their son or daughter's life. I'm going to bring on occupational therapists and social emotional behavior specialists, people that can just really boost the heart and purpose behind what we do as adapted PE teachers and those who support all students. And so with that, talking about guests, I'd like to spoil a little secret. We are going to have our first podcast on April 4th, 2025, which is during Shape Baltimore. I'm so stoked. And during this time, our first guest, which I haven't announced yet until now, will be our 2024 Adapted PE Teachers of the Year. So our Shape America, Eastern District Teacher of the Year, Central District Teacher of the Year, and I forget what the last one is, but they're all District Teachers of the Year. So we have Jeff Watkins, we have Katie Doyle, and we have Justin Lund, who is a personal best friend, and we are going to have them on. We're going to ask them questions about their journey to becoming a Teacher of the Year, because it's so special to be part of that toy family. And once you're a part of that toy family, man, it just feels like you have so much support. And so I want to ask them what their journey was like. And then because we are premiering this podcast during Shape Baltimore, I'm excited to ask them right after they present their featured session, like, how did it go? What was the audience reaction? And how do you feel like you grew during that process? When you present at a national conference, it is special. And when you're a Teacher of the Year, you get sought out for presenting, for answering questions, for your knowledge, and it's pretty special. And so I'm excited to bring to you those 3 Teachers of the Year who have made such an impact on our essential field, right? That beat behind the heartbeat. And they'll be able to share some of their heart behind their process. And so I'm excited to bring you that during Shape Baltimore. I'm also excited to share that I will be presenting a few sessions at Shape Baltimore as well. I will be doing 3 sessions. One is called 50 Hacks in 50 Minutes, 50 Adapted PE Hacks in 50 Minutes, Rapid Fire Strategies for Inclusive PE. And that will be with Dr. Megan Johnson, one of my besties. And we promise that we will have lots of laughs because we have absolutely no fun whatsoever together. It's just boring. So, just kidding. Come and enjoy our session. We're also, so that's on Wednesday. So look us up in the Shape Baltimore app. This is a little like reminder to download that app if you're going to Shape Baltimore. Also, we are also, Megan and I, doing another session for encouraging and supporting student teachers, and it's part of the higher ed conference, part of Shape Baltimore on Tuesday, and I think it's called Encouraging Student Teachers or Supporting Student Teachers. I'll have to look that up. Maybe I'll put that in the show notes. And so that's on Tuesday. And then I'm also doing an awesome session. I don't know how I got so lucky, but I'm going to be working with Megara and Maddie B, and they are both Teachers of the Year for their areas, and they're alumni. So they're not current, but all of us alumni getting together, and we're going to do a session called Tips from the Trenches, Adapting at Every Level, and I believe that was also going to be on Wednesday. So those are my 3 sessions. I'm also doing some work for Shape America, in which I am training in some trainers to send out into the world, into the globe, to be able to train districts who need more training in adapted PE. So shout out to Dr. Sue Tar, who has been working really hard, both of us together, probably like Sue Tar's just so smart, and we just work really well together, but she did put a lot of work into it, and I put a lot of work into it, and we are coming together to also do a half-day workshop. It's called, I think it's essential, it's like inclusive strategies or essential strategies of adapted PE, something like that. It's a Saturday half-day workshop. So I would love for you to join us. That is a paid workshop. But otherwise, while you're in Shape Baltimore, please just have so much fun. Reach out to me on social media and say, hey, I'd love to meet up with you, whatever it is. I love connecting with just physical education and adapted physical education and health friends, and walk through all of those booths in the vendor area and connect with people, do those coffee talks. Make sure you get good food and eat and attend those socials. But also, I think the biggest thing is like take some time to yourself during the week and make sure you don't overdo it. And that's what I'm going to have to do, because I'm still working on my master's in adapted PE. Shout out to the University of South Carolina. So I will still be working on that despite being on spring break from my current district. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to share, but mostly that I'm just so excited to bring you this podcast called The Heartbeats of Adapted PE. It is a passion project of mine. I've been working hard on other things for school and other things for my master's, and I can't tell you how much this passion project and just trying to be creative and reaching out to people who just want to connect has been so wonderful. You'll be able to watch this podcast both on my YouTube page, it's youtube.com/@adaptedpe @Heartbeats of Adapted PE podcast. So that whole long thing spelled out. You'll also be able to watch it on the Health and Physical Education Collective. And that is a free sign up you can get, and then you just connect with the 500 teachers and growing that are building a community over there. We're trying to build out the adapted PE section of that website, the community. It's like Twitter without all the weird noise. Twitter's gotten weird lately. But also we have social media on both Blue Sky and on X. It's called @Heartbeats of APE on both places. And so that is the handle. And I'm just really excited. Thank you to my board of Dr. Megan Johnson, Justin Lund, Jordan Manley, and Jessica Matheson, my Minnesota connection. And also just shout out to Dr. Guy Danhoff, who has been such a leader and helper for me just putting this all together. One last note, Shape America is also carrying this podcast on their YouTube page, so you'll be able to catch this podcast there too. So that's what I have for you, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you will join us at 2 o'clock Eastern time at Shape Baltimore on either my YouTube page or Shape America's YouTube page, and you'll be able to interact with everybody on the page who is also watching, and along with the Health and Physical Education Collective, you'll be able to continue that conversation after the podcast is over and just continue to connect with others. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Heartbeats of Adapted PE podcast little teaser trailer. I hope you'll join me on April 4th. Happy Shape Baltimore, everyone. We're almost there. See ya.